Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'm Ben-Hur, and I'll be your host for today's session. Welcome to this meetup by IxDF Kerala, sponsored by Experion Technologies. Before we dive in, here's a thought to sit with. Typography quietly influences every decision your users make, often before they've even consciously registered a single word. What they notice, what they trust, what they skip, a lot of that comes down to type. It's one of the most powerful tools in design and also one of the easiest to overlook. Today, we're going to change that. To take us through this, I would like to welcome Jishnu Murali. Jishnu is an interaction designer who has spent years thinking deeply about visual, UI, graphic design, and especially type. But what is interesting is that his eye for detail does not stop at the screen. It's there in the photographs he takes, in the places he chooses to travel to, simply because they look beautiful. And even in the movies or music he gravitates toward. So, Jishnu, welcome once again, and over to you.
Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the art of typography. The design begin with the right type. Okay, let's start this section. Yeah, even comes to the typography. Typography is the one of the powerful and underrated tool we have in the design. Basically, typography is one of the most powerful and underrated element in the design. When most people think about the design, they think about the colors, illustrations, or animations or fancy effects. But if you remove all those elements, what remains? The only thing we have remain is just words. When those words are presented, those words are well presented. That's typography. Okay, we can see type is everywhere in the in the design or in our daily life. We use applications like from Apple Music, or we are using Airbnb or watch Netflix. Typography is everywhere. In we can see the road signs. We can see in the design, or we can see in website, movie posters, etc. Typography is the part of design, and it is the well design, and it's a well balanced design things uh, in the design. Okay, when it comes to interface, people don't see interfaces. They are going through the interfaces to they scan the interfaces, then they feel the interfaces and they judge. But the the factor is going through the interface is type. They are scanning the information. They are scanning the typefaces. Then they are scanning the button. They will scan the uh, what we call like informations, or they will scan the form inputs, or these are the main things user is going to scan through the interfaces. Then they will come to a judgmental part to set up and to get the informations. And so also we can say that bad typography creates confusions and great typography creates confidence. Okay. The good and also good typography help users to read effortlessly and understand the hierarchy, and it will create a build create a trust to build the users to uh, get the uh, get the product, to create the feelings beyond the users and the product. Also, it will create a emotions, and it will create a feelings towards the brand. And also, the users will understand, and users will remember the brand. Okay, the next part is the typeface we have found, and we can see the clear misconception about the typeface and the font. Um, like we can see like Goga is a typeface, and Goga thin, light, regular, medium is a set font. Mm, okay. Typeface define characters won't have that personality. Typeface can feel the elegant, friendly, technical, premium, playful, futuristic, and serious. Uh, this is why that so one of the strongest tool is typography. Okay, just imagine the word the coastal club. Here we can see the the same word, but it will get the different emotions towards the same words. Here, nothing changed except that type. The power of typography is we can see the one is getting the premium feel and one is getting the elegant and the casual feelings. This is called the power of typography. And here I am going to explain the how to choose the right typeface for the new design. And we can say typography is more than just a pretty font. It is it is something else like the more towards the purpose or personality. Is understand the to help you choose the typeface, communicate the right message, and support the overall spirit. So typography and the typeface is more important to a product. Then then first thing we need to go through the process, like start with the product. Yeah, what is the product, who is it for, what emotion should users feel, and the what experience are given to the product, like what is the product giving to the users to feel about it. Actually there is one more thing about is it the product is content heavy or visual driven. That's the main thing. We need to go through these all area to understand the product and get to understand about these areas. Okay, then the next thing is to explore and build references. We so if we get an understanding about the product, then we need to find the exact references and uh, exact references to build the mood board to generate the feelings and the what's the character of the product, what is the exact meaning of the product, and we need to go through that every process to once again to set up the mood board. Okay, yeah, and we need to clarify or we need to focus to find the product needs sans or sensory. Which one is more apt to that product? Uh, which create more contrast, exit, how much white space that product need to surround the test or around the test. Okay. Then the next process is to match the personality with the typefaces. If our product is or while we're designing the product towards is close to the sans serif, we that means the product has the say some personality like modern, clean, friendly. Then we can match that personality with the sans serif typefaces. Then one more thing, like if our product is closely towards the syrup, that means the product is some level elegant or some level is premium, like the traditional or the elegant or trustworthy. We need to um, we need to match that type personality with the serif. The same like display or same like the swap serif. There is more than sans serif or serif display. There is lot more kind of typefaces. We need to match that typefaces we need to match that personality with typefaces that we can see here. And readability is the one of the most thing in the typefaces. If we choose a uh, typeface with the bad readability, that means that doesn't work with that product. We need to find the exact typeface with the better readability that we can that then we can use that typefaces to convey any kind of information or any kind of patterns or any kind of if that if we choose a button, we need to put a typeface in the button. That means it's a 14 pixel font. It's a small to small to read by the users. But with a better typeface, we can clearly solve that issue, or that we can clearly get that readability in that with a better typeface. Okay. Also, we need to check the clear letter forms. In typefaces, in different typefaces, we have different letter forms, and some of them are uh, sharp, some of them are very clean, but some level the type letter forms are designed with the some different stress, or different uh, curves are used in the typefaces are different ways. So we can clearly we need to find the exact what is the exact typeface we to match that uh, product. So we need to check that all the letter forms we are going to use. Also, we need to check the line spacing, or we need to check the which line spaces is best for that product. Also the check the sizes, or like the small sizes means the less readability. So we need to check that all through that typefaces before we choose, before we start designing. Um, in this example, here we can see that the license key, so under we have a lot of numbers, and some of them are digits, some of them are letters. But clearly we have here we can see that the license key number is starting with the O, and the second digit is a second one is a digit. So here we don't have that distinguishable character difference between these typefaces. Like, but in here we can see how they are changed, how they are readable, how they are getting more meaningful to a key number, or the license key. So clear here we can see that the first letter is O, second second character is a digit with the slash. We can see that the zero is clearly having difference between O and zero. Here we can see that this next one is a one, and next one is I. This then, yeah, we have lot of character difference between the digits and numbers. This is one of the key things we need to check before we start a design. Yeah, readability comes before the beauty. Yeah. First. Then the second thing is we need to check all the tests we are going to use in the real context. Like the we can check the product name. We can never check in a real paragraph, or never try typefaces with a dummy test, or a dummy test with the typefaces. That means we will never get a pure clarity on pure readability, or pure as attentions on typography. If we use the actual product name, or the actual paragraph, or we can check that in a button, or form field, or a navigation menu, or informations, or tag, we can check that in a real context era. Like, that means we'll get a clear picture of the what typography when it's come to a design. We can see all the difference between, and we can check all that in the first phase. So that means we can fix this is the right typeface for that product. Okay, next thing is to set up a type scale system. This is the one of the most important thing before we start a design. Okay, type scale system. For setting up a type scale system, we can use the typescale.com to set up the difference between the heading and difference between the paragraph. We can set up a clear clear clarity on that want which pixel we need to use that on a heading, or which pixel we need to use that on a paragraph. Yeah, clear. Here we can see that the H6 is 26 and the H5 is 46. That we can gain from using the typescale.com. Then there we can see a lot of rules, like for example, golden ratio rule is there. The major third is there. We can choose if based on the product character. The product demanding the uh, the golden ratio is the best fit for that. We can go for that, and we can set up a type scale system based on that uh, character. Okay. Once again, we need to test before finalizing. Like when before we starting a design, we need to check our typeface will work on to mobile, tablet, or desktop or dark mode. We need to check that once again to finalize finalize the typeface. Okay. Uh, or one another things to check is the readability, line break, and font rendering and accessibility. This is for the better better readability or better character we are bringing to the users, or the finally the users are going to use these products. So we need to find the best fit for that product. So we need to reconsider the typeface if we needed, or uh, we can get a picture why after we test before just test. If we go into this test, we can see the exact typeface fit, and like, we can match it. If we need to change any kind of typeface, or we need to reconcile the typeface, we can get from this step. Okay, here I am going to show you the 7 simple rule to improve your type skills. Okay, this is kind of simple step, but it has a powerful steps. Okay, the first thing is to we need to align our test in a left alignment. A left alignment means the more readability, or the every user or the people going through a design or a reading format, they are reading from left to right. So we can gain more attention, or the more clean flow while we using the justify left or left alignment. That means the faster scanning, it will generate a better readability, and it will reduce the friction, it will reduce the strain to the usage, and it will create a strong visual hierarchy and more accessible for the users. Yeah. Then next next step is to uh, skip a weight. Skip a weight is like a small saying. Like if you are using a light or is a regular font for your paragraph, we can skip a weight and bring the can add bold for a heading. That means it will create a visual hierarchy, and it will generate a contrast to users will understand. Oh, this is the heading and this is a paragraph. We can clearly show that the differences by using the skip away format. Okay. Yeah. Next one is to align to one axis. Yeah. This is a more like we need, if you spread um, the information on the interfaces without any access, or to just spread around. I mean, the user will not consider this like a group of information, or they will just confused when they are coming to an interface or coming to a design. when but we can get it that the right way to if they are in a x-axis or then a y-axis, it will generate a complete clean flow to bring the information hierarchical point. So we can get that in a, yeah, here we can, I'm just showing that example, like the Monday to Sunday format. I just align that in a one is x-axis, on the one is two on the y-axis. That means it will create a complete clean flow on the alignment. Yeah, the next thing is to set up or that follow the rule is to double point size. That means if you use a 15 pixel size for the paragraph, then we can use 13 pixels for the heading. It's not the exact the mathematical measurement, or we can get that while using the typeface type scale system. It will we can get that mathematical measurement and the mathematical difference between the typefaces. So we can use that in a format. But it's a simple rule. We will say like uh, get the 2x or 3x for the heading. That means it will generate a complete different hierarchical point and it will generate a higher contrast level. Okay. Then next step is to group by using rule. Yeah, in grouping rule, we have lot of rules like the common region, contactness, or the proximity, or the continuity. Yeah, here we can see in the example, we can see the some of them sections are divided by the lines and some of them are created by the borders. Yeah, yeah, we can say that the line or borders create a shared visual region. And that means is in interfaces or informations are grouped by this rule. It will create a grouping systematical format, or the line will create a complete uh, different grouping system. So user while seeing this information, they will understand, oh, this is one group, and next information is the next another group. So we can get that through this the common region grouping theory. Okay, the next thing is to contact method. And in in this in this role, the line visually connects related information. Okay, in the example, we can see the project started, the development phase, testing QA, and the launch. That means it's a complete process, and the line is connecting that information to to create a continuity. That means while user going through this design, they will understand the first step is the project started, then the next step is coming is the development phase, and another one is coming is the test QA. That means the line create a visual hierarchical point to connect this information like a grouping region. The next thing is the proximity. Proximity means that they are combined with spacing. The divider clearly separate two sections. In the example, we can see the password query or login notification is a complete different group, and the active sections is another group. But we can generate a separation only we use the line here. So the line will create a complete visual treatment to generate that the separation point. Okay, this is one of the one we can use in any design to separate the informations or the separate the sections. Okay, the last thing in the grouping rule, the continuity. Continuity means the users naturally follow the line left to right. That's here in the example here we can see that the progress state. One is tell us about the completion is one of the one step, and the second step is coming. If you completed this step, then the second line will filled. That means the continuity rule is helping to users to continue and complete the task with a line separation just use with the line. Yeah, the next thing, the better thing to do in the design is to avoid the corners. Don't place elements along the edges or corners to a page unless they deliberately cut the elements off. That means if the product or the design demand a corner, we can use that. But if you avoid that corners, it will create a clean design. Then the users can easily read those informations, or they will they they can read in a easily way. That means they don't get any friction or they don't get any distraction to read. They will easily go through the type letters and the information they are going to read. There is no frictions will generate if you avoid the corners. Okay, then the next thing in the type scale rule is the spacing. Spacing is the one of the most thing every designers are not following to the. If we follow that the spacing, the better spacing, it will create a better flow in the typeface. Okay. And great typography defined by spacing. And here in the paragraph, if you put design, if we plan to or add a paragraph in the design, we need to see or we need to take care of these four elements in the design in the paragraph theory, like often, preferred drag, avoid space, avoid shapes or widows. I will show that in a clear way that if a paragraph starting with a single word that we call in a design is an orphan, we need to get rid of that to get a complete clean flow. Or a paragraph is ending with an one word that we'll call in a design is widow. And here we can see the preferred drag. That means it is a complete clean ending for a paragraph. Then here we can see the asymmetrical sum shape is ending on that paragraph. That means it will create an unusual illusion for the usage. While reading those paragraph, the user feels like some geometrical shape is on the end. So they will generate a friction, or they will see to that the image that shape will distract the uh, users for the better reading. Okay, one the typography is at its the best when its readers don't notice it. If there is these seven principles are into rules to limit creativity. They are the foundation for creating clear. Yeah, these rules are not the not not the rules to limit your design. We can go through the design, and we can play around it, and we can set up the type scale system or the typefaces with them. But better to our, if we consider these or in these all rules, we'll get a better typeface flow, and we can bring the design with a better quality. Yeah, before we wrap up, I would like to leave you one with the final thought. Yeah, typeface shape the product, typography define the brand. Together they create the experience. Thank you.